Social media is killing you, but not in the way that you might think. We all seem to know by now that social media is incredibly addictive, and nobody really seems to be doing anything about it. It has become so culturally and socially accepted now to just scroll on your phone while you're walking down the street, while you're hanging with friends, while you're doing something that you should be enjoying, but instead you choose to pick up your phone and scroll. But what is the big deal? It's a fun little scroll, it passes the time, and it's actually quite enjoyable. I also like social media. I think it is incredible, and it doesn't cost you any money, but it does cost you something else. Let's take a quick look at how social media works. At the very core, social media companies are businesses. Businesses need to make money. The business model for social media companies, the way in which they make money, is through ads. More ads equals more money. As a result of all of this, social media platforms are designed inherently to be as addictive as possible to keep you on them. This is why we as consumers get to use social media for free. It doesn't cost us money, it costs us our attention. Numerous and many peoples smarter than I am have said that we are living in an attention economy, where businesses and people compete for our attention and not our money. Because with attention comes power and influence, which is arguably more valuable than money and harder to attain. Additionally, it has never in history been easier to get someone's attention because we have these tiny little computers that we carry around with us 24/7, and they are literally the new TV, the new CV, and the new communications device all rolled into one. But let's get back to the problem. What is the cost of spending our attention on social media and these devices? So first off, our attention is much like our time or our energy. It is a limited resource, which means we only have so much of it that we can give. And it's important to know this because what we spend our attention on literally shapes our minds and our reality. So if you deplete all of your attention on reading toxic comment sections, opening your phone 100 times a day, and just generally scrolling while you should be enjoying or doing something else, then you are not going to have any attention left to give to the things that bring you value. The things that bring you value will differ greatly from person to person. For me, it is creating art and thinking and writing and creating things. I love creating things. It's just the freaking best. And I know if I spend too much of my attention on dumb stuff like scrolling social media, I have no energy or attention left to put into the things that really matter to me. And this idea of attention applies to almost everything in life and where you focus your attention. But the reason social media is so bad for stealing your attention is it exaggerates this feeling of comparison. And comparison is the thief of joy. I didn't say that. Theodore Roosevelt said that. Plus, the icing on the cake of our attention just being lost randomly is that it doesn't happen immediately. It is a slow process. And it is such a slow process, you barely even realize it is happening. You don't realize that your attention is just leaking out of your ears and you have no idea where it's going. That is what social media does. It absolutely numbs your mind. It kills your joy. It kills your sense of peace. And it kills your sense of self slowly, which is definitely not good. So, how do we reclaim our attention? How do we become aware that this is happening? How do we fix this? Well, it is incredibly simple. So simple, in fact, that you might think I'm a bit crazy. But notice I said simple, not easy, and not quick. All you have to do is focus your senses on one of three things: sound, touch, or breath. You can use visual sense, but I don't really recommend it because we are generally so visually overstimulated. This is the most important part, so I'm going to run through all three examples with you. So with each of these, we are going to take a moment and purely focus all of our energy and attention on that one thing. So sound. What can you hear? What else can you hear? How far away is it? What is causing the sound? What does the sound feel like? How loud and quiet? How many things are there? If you listen closely, you can hear the wind. You can hear the hum of generators. You can listen to doors opening and closing, voices in the background. There are so many things you can probably hear on a daily basis that you completely ignore. Not that you ignore, but they just go completely past your awareness and you never even realize that they were there. But if you take a moment to really listen, you start noticing a lot of things that you never noticed before. So, what about touch? Right now, you can feel the sensation of clothes against your skin. If you move, it will be a bit more noticeable. But you can also feel the weight of your feet against the ground or the bum in your chair. And if you pick something up, you can feel its texture. You can feel how rough or smooth it is, how heavy it is. You can really start to pay attention to it and notice it. If you focus all of your time and attention on a thing and the sensation of touch, you'll begin to notice things that normally we would just overlook. And most importantly, the easiest thing to focus your attention on is the breath, because our breath is always with us. We always need to breathe. So you can try this with me now if you want. If you take a deep breath in, quick side note on breathing, by the way, most people think that when you take a big breath in, they think you have to breathe up, like through the nose. You go, look at my nostrils close up there. That's breathing up. Sucks. Your airwaves, they go to the back of your head. They don't go up here. Your airwaves go back into your skull. So breathe backwards, not up, and it will change your life. So big breath in. And you can feel the air pass through your nostrils and into your lungs. You can feel your ribs expand with your lungs. And as that happens, you can feel all the muscles around them expand. And then as you breathe out, if you really pay attention to it, you can feel all the muscles in your body relax slowly, starting with the ones around your chest, but literally everything will relax just subtly more. And being able to pay attention to the close details and intricacies of your breath and how you feel it is like going to the gym for your mind and your attention. And what this does to you when you practice this regularly is that it gets you to actively spend your attention rather than just passively letting it slip away. It will build up the muscle that is your awareness of where your attention is being spent. And only once you are aware of where you are spending your attention can you choose where to place it. The biggest thing I want you to take away from this is that you should choose to spend your attention on experiencing life and the things that give you joy and value, because everything else is just noise. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some value out of it. If you want to see more of this sort of stuff, you can like and subscribe, and I'll be posting a few more things like this. Thank you for watching. It means a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. I printed my notes out for this video because I don't know why, but analog just seems to work better with my brain than digital. And it makes me feel like a bit of a news anchor or something, like I'm about to present the news. Top news today, social media is killing you slowly, and here's how to fix it. Maybe I should be a voiceover actor. All right, now I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Thank you. Thank you for doing my TED Talk.